What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. So today I have a very intriguing pair of sneakers, and these are the Nike Dunk Low Barbershop in the gray colorway. So these released a few days ago in South Korea, and these released alongside a black pair. And I believe this is a special edition release because it has the SE behind its model name. And, you know, I was able to pick up a pair in my size off of Nike.com. You know, basically, I think they did sell out instantly. And then people were like, oh shit, these aren't reselling. So they just kind of canceled all their pairs. So there was a huge restock, and there's a full-size run on the website right now. And I believe the black pairs are just sitting all over the place in stores. So anyways, I can just tell you that there's basically zero hype behind these. But anyways, I still wanted to see this pair in hand because honestly, it is a cool looking colorway, and it's got a lot of details. And I mean, come on, when are you gonna pick up a special edition Dunk for retail, actually below retail, because I've got, you know, 5% discount on my account. But anyways, without further ado, let's dive right into the sneaker. So as you can see, this sneaker has a overall gray tone to it. And the side panel is this gray suede or nubuck material, which is, I guess it's pretty long-haired compared to some other, you know, cheap nubuck stuff that we've seen. And it is quite smooth to the touch. I wouldn't say it's anything like out of the ordinary, but, you know, it's definitely that sort of, you know, special edition quality. I would say it's very similar to the suede or nubuck quality that we've seen on some other pairs, such as, you know, the Viatex. And, you know, those, you know, the line of, you know, dunks that we've been seeing over the past few years. And then on top of that, I guess this, I don't know what this is. I think it is leather, but it's got these, like, you know, sort of these bumpy punched hole details across this Nike swoosh. It's very crisp white, and it's got some texture to it, and it is a thicker cut of leather compared to, you know, some other GR released dunks out there. But, you know, the QC is pretty nice, I guess. And then towards the front, you've got another overlay of that sort of gray suede material. As you can see, it's got a lot of texture to it. I can't really see the sort of the color change, but, you know, it is pretty smooth. And then that material runs all the way towards the front of the shoe on the toe cap area. And then the toe box is, once again, that sort of smooth gray suede material, and it's got the perforated holes. Now, this is where things get interesting. I think this is the detail that throws off a lot of people, but this is actually a sort of like a gold comb that you would see. Or actually, no, I wouldn't say it's a comb. You know that, you know, what is that, you know, plastic tip that you see on razors in barbershops? I think that's what this is supposed to be. I don't know what the exact name for that is, but anyways, you got these gold blades and all that. I guess it is some sort of like metal, I guess. It's not that heavy, but, you know, it's definitely got some glitter to it. And then you got the Nike Text logo on there as well. Now, I think that's a cool detail. You know, it goes along very well with the overall theme of this sneaker, but I think this is, you know, throwing a lot of people off, because it's too loud and it's, you know, like too bling bling for them, I guess. But, you know, you've always have the option of taking these out when you wear them. So, I mean, I don't think it's a huge of a deal. And speaking of which, you know, as I was saying, this is a barbershop themed sneaker, but I couldn't really find any sort of like sound explanation as to why Nike all of a sudden decided to release these. Because, you know, Nike shouldn't really have any relationship with barbershops but what I'm assuming is that, as far as I understand, there was this sort of culture where you would pick up fake sneakers at barbershops. At least that's what I think, how the story goes. So maybe Nike is sort of alluding to that culture, but honestly, I don't know why they would do that. Because at the end of the day, that's kind of, you know, alluding to the culture of buying fake sneakers. But maybe, you know, Nike's like kind of flexing that, you know, hey, you guys used to buy, you know, fake Nike sneakers out of barbershops. Look what we did. So I guess the joke's on you, I guess. I don't know. But that's just my assumption. I couldn't really find any, like, credible explanation to this release. So if you do know anything behind this, please leave a comment down below. I would really love to know. I mean, I should have done more research, but hey, I mean, come on, man. This is just another release. So anyways, returning to the sneaker, you've got the flat cotton laces, the white laces, all factory laced onto the shoe. And I would say that for some reason, the laces feel a bit thinner than usual. It might be just me, but you know, it does feel a little flimsy in my opinion, but there's nothing wrong with that. It is pretty smooth. It gets the job done. And then underneath that, you got that crisp white nylon tongue there. It does have a slight hue of grayish blue maybe for some reason. And then on the tip of the tongue, you got the nylon tongue tag with the Nike text logo and swoosh logo embroidered in this very rare, very rich blue color right there. Now, moving on to the inside of the sneaker, you've got the, I would say, once again, it's definitely not like pure white, but it's some sort of this like white with a kind of like a bluish tint to it. Anyways, that mesh material is used for the sock liner. And then the insole is this kind of like light blue, sky blue. And on top of that, you got the Nike text and swoosh logo printed in a darker tone of blue. And then you've got the lace tips here in red and blue. Obviously, that's kind of referring to that, you know, that swirly kind of like light or whatever you would see in those old barbershops. And I've been told that those are supposed to represent the human veins, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, that's what I've been told as a child. But anyways, moving on towards the back side of the shoe, you see more of that detail that refers to that sort of like swirly light or whatever, that sign outside of barbershops. As you can see, this is kind of like a candy cane kind of detail. And on top of that, you got another overlay of this brownish beige toned like suede material. I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to represent, but it's got some sort of pattern to it. And what I can say is that this portion of the sneaker it has that longer haired suede material, and it does feel, I wouldn't say rough, but it's got more texture. It's more substantial compared to what we see on the side panel right here. And then on the back side of the shoe, you've got that heel tab and that white plasticky or leather material that we saw on the swoosh right there. And then you got the blue Nike text logo embroidered right there. And man, that looks really, really clean. I mean, it's really, really clean. That's beautiful. And then you see more of the blue and red threads lining the back side, the heel counter of the sneaker. And then you see that kind of bar extending all the way towards the medial side as well. And then here, it's basically the same deal. And then the midsole is your typical crisp white rubber midsole. And then the outsole is that beautiful sky blue colored outsole with the typical circular traction pattern in the forefoot area, and then the Nike branding in the midfoot, and then the rest of the traction right there. And then I guess the other side of the sneaker is basically the same deal. And for the haters out there, here's that Nike Korea tag right there, just to show you that these are indeed authentic. And this pair does not come with an extra set of laces, which is funny because they went the extra mile to do all this, even adding that sort of, you know, that whatever, the razor blade tip or whatever. And then they just threw us in with, you know, that just like the regular laces right there. I don't know why they would do that. And especially, these do not come with a special edition box. They call it a special edition, but they come in this, you know, regular red and white dunk box right there. So here you see the product code and the size. So that's also a disappointment, but I guess they kind of used up all their funds or the budget on the metal tip, maybe. I don't know, that's just my guess. But anyways, that's basically it with the sneaker. Obviously, as I was saying, there's basically no resale premium on these. I even checked on StockX, and I guess the general feel is basically the same overseas. Or maybe it's because people haven't seen these in hand, because in my opinion, this is a really, really clean looking pair of sneakers. I mean, overall, it's gray and white and a hint of sky blue. It's pretty muted, but the only thing that, you know, throws people off, I think, is that metal part, which you can remove them once you unlace the sneaker totally and then you relace them up. It's just going to be basically a suede dunk right there. So wearability wise, I wouldn't say it's an entirely difficult shoe to pull off, because it's overall a gray, and so it should go pretty well with, you know, any sort of daily outfit. Sizing wise, you know, I usually go true to size with my dunks, but these days I'm kind of staying away from wearing dunks because I think I've mentioned this in a previous video. It's just that if you wear dunks for prolonged periods of time, your feet start to hurt, and I just can't deal with it right now. I'm leaning more towards wearing, you know, Asics and New Balance these days, and, you know, mixing in some Jordans here and there. So that's just my take on that. And yeah, that's basically it, I guess. I mean, again, this is a special edition dunk, and, you know, I think if these released last year, these probably would have flown off the shelves instantly, but, you know, we're just kind of, you know, over flooded with dunks and Jordans all over the place, and especially because I think COVID is kind of, you know, we're kind of returning to normal life. I guess people have, you know, cash to spend on other things, you know, just going outside, you know, traveling and whatnot, the stuff that we weren't able to do. So I think, you know, fewer people are picking up sneakers, or at least they're being a little bit more selective and picky in terms of what they actually buy. So that's just my guess, but what do I know? Anyways, that's basically it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really, really helps my channel grow. And again, this is a very, very nice looking pair of sneakers. So if you get the chance, try to pick them up. Anyways, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.